Okay, so to start off, you want to have the handle fully extended into its upright position, and we need to tilt the buggy back so that we have better access to this front area. We will need to remove a cap on either side, so you have one cap here. I use a flathead screwdriver, and you can wedge that cap out like so, and do it on the other side as well. Pop both the caps out and place them together on the table, and then we'll use an 8mm socket and a flathead screwdriver, putting the socket on this side, and you'll see there's a bolt here that we can attach to, and we'll loosen this bolt up until you can remove the nut. Okay, so now the nut has been removed. We'll also need to remove this bolt, so I like to hold on to the washer on this side so that you don't lose it. And there's also a cap, so I'll have the washer, the cap and the nut all together, and pull the bolt out on the opposite side. So I like to reassemble these the same way that they were sitting prior, so you don't get confused when you reassemble. So we have it like so. Put that to the side. Now you'll need to remove this plastic rod, which I use a punch. If you've got a piece of like a wooden block or something like that, it might help. And basically line it up and tap it with a hammer or a mallet until it comes out the other side. You'll notice that the wheel will drop once it's out, like so. And then you can pull the remainder of it out like that, put it on the side, and the wheel will come out. So put the wheel to the side. Now the piece that has been damaged is this white piece inside here, if you can see that. Now this one itself isn't damaged, but this is the part that we'll be requiring to replace. So you need to gain access to this undercarriage, which you can undo 4 screws. Them all together, and now you can gain access to this undercarriage. Like so. Now this is where you can gain access to the lever. This is the part that will be damaged. So we'll need to remove this nut from the bolt. So yet again, it's an 8mm. Putting an 8mm socket onto one end, Phillips head on the other. We can disconnect. This might be quite difficult. If it is quite stiff, you might need to heat up the nut to release so the nylon relaxes a little bit, and then you can have a better chance at removing it, because sometimes they are quite tight and they might even have some thread lock. So this one fortunately isn't too tight. And remove that until the nut comes off. Put the nut to the side, and your 2 washers, which is a clear and a steel washer. Put them together there. Now this bolt might be difficult to push out. Sometimes it'll be difficult, you might need to tap it out. That one come out okay. I'll put that down to the side. And this here is the piece. Now, keeping in mind the way that it's positioned when you move it out of position, this one's okay, but if you were to replace it, you see there's a longer side on this length and then shorter on this side. So you want the long length to be positioned through here. So slot that into position when you're replacing a new one, having that short length here. And to reassemble, same thing, just put that bolt through. Plastic washer first, and then your steel washer, and then the nut. So 8mm socket onto that, Phillips head, and we'll screw that up until it's nice and firm, like so. and this will then slide back into position through here. You can do this casing back up now, so we'll get the 4 screws and fasten the casing back into position. Okay, so we'll then get the wheel. We need to ensure that this white piece is aligned properly, sliding the wheel back over the front end of the buggy, and want your plastic rod to line up in the same shape like it is at the moment, and then just give it a bit of a wiggle till it slides through, a bit of a tap, and you can tap it with the end of a mallet or a hammer until it's all the way through. You'll see that it's nice and flush on the other side. We'll then get the bolt, keeping everything in order, and then slide the bolt through from one end to the other. Then you want your plastic cap back into position, followed by the washer, and then the nut. Fasten the nut up, and then 8mm socket and Phillips head screwdriver, one on either side, and tighten until it's firm. It's now firm, and then you want to put the caps back into position like that on either side. Just pop them in, and that's done. Now that you've got it all connected again, you'll notice that I'll take this and put it on the ground. As you now fold it up, the front wheel should tuck in underneath the chassis like so.